Typically, when a borderline finds a person that they really, really like, this person may become a favorite person. And again, it's not just like, oh, that's my bestie, or that's my friend, or like just me sitting there like, oh, yep, that's my favorite. No, it consumes my life. Hey, besties, welcome back to the Why Would I Say That podcast. It's your girl, Tiara, and today I want to talk to you a little more about what favorite person is. When I say favorite person, I don't mean it as in like, oh, that's just my best friend, or that's like my significant other, and like, oh, they're my favorite person. No, it's got to do with some of my crazy. So I have borderline personality disorder, and what that is the instability of moods, behaviors, and relationships. And as you can tell, it is a little unstable over here. Just a bit. And borderline personality disorder obviously takes over a large part of my life because instability of moods, my behaviors, and relationships. Did I leave anything out? And relationships with borderline personality disorder can be very, very hard to get or maintain. But typically, when a borderline finds a person that they really, really like, this person may become a favorite person. And again, it's not just like, oh, that's my bestie, or that's my friend, or like just me sitting there like, oh, yep, that's my favorite. No, it consumes my life. As someone with BPD, we have difficulty regulating our emotions and have difficulty with our own identities. So obviously, it's hard. It's hard over here. A lot of the times when we find a favorite person, our identity goes in them. We tend to rely on this person for stability and safety because obviously we're a bit unstable, and alone it just feels a lot worse. But when we have somebody, it must mean that like actually I'm worth caring about. Like we put all of our self-worth into this one person. And when we lose this person, this can actually confirm our negative beliefs that we have in ourselves. So if somebody leaves me and they're my favorite person and I'm already struggling with self-worth, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, then I'm definitely worthless. Like that just proved I was worthless. They left because I was worthless. And because I don't have someone to confide in my every inner thought anymore because they're no longer there, I now don't know how to cope because all my coping was being with them, talking to them, doing everything with them. It was all them. So favorite person can be very tricky, but I do understand on being on the receiving end of this can be heavy and a lot. And I always want to say this, my disorder should not affect you. Now, if we're like dating or something and I'm struggling with this still, which probably will because it's a personality disorder. It's a personality disorder. I think that person should have an understanding of where you're coming from as if they're your person. Your person should understand you. But if there's ever a time where like a borderline or even myself, this becomes harmful to you and your mental health, it's okay to walk away. I never ever want to hurt other people, or I don't want to come on here and be like, it's okay that we display all this and everyone should just be able to handle it. Not everyone can handle it, and that is okay. And I'd much rather you tell me you can't handle it instead of me wasting my time and then going through bad things. But again, it's not about me. It's really about you and your mental health and physical health and all the healths, because you matter just as much as the next person. You are worth as much as the next person. You are worth just as much. We all put our pants on the same way. We're all human. We all go through relatively the same things. Even if I have a personality disorder or you don't have a personality disorder, we still relatively go through the same day to day. Like, we're all human. Things hurt. Things suck. Things can be great. Things can be beautiful. But if it ever becomes like a scary situation, like, do what you got to do for yourself. As I would tell a borderline, if you ever are in a situation where it gets scary, walk away. So it's not any different from a normal person that is on the receiving end of favorite person. If you have borderline personality disorder, you may know that favorite person can be anybody and everybody and anybody. It could be teachers. It could be a parent. It could be a friend. It could be a significant other. It could be literally anybody. Anyone that you start to confide in, your day starts to revolve around them, everything. Like me, I have a few examples myself, which I think are very, very niche, but this is how far a favorite person has controlled my life. There'd be times I would literally not eat all day because I'd be nervous that my favorite person would text me and be like, hey, you want to go get food? That's not good. That's not good for myself. Not at all. So I would go as far as literally starving myself to make sure that my favorite person didn't want to eat with me. Talk about revolving your day around your favorite person. Oh my God. There was one time when my parents didn't like my favorite person. It was an ex-boyfriend, and rightfully so. He was not great. They did not like him. And I was probably like 16 at the time. And my parents didn't want me to be with him. And then he ends up cheating on me. And then I tried to run away to his house because my parents were basically like, I told you so. And I ran away to his house. What? Why would I run away? I don't know. There's times where I'll text somebody and then I'll watch every second. I'll literally just stare at the message and wait for this little thought bubble to come up. Even though I have a million other things to do today, like maybe I have a shift in a little bit, but let me watch that text bubble because I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. And I'm also refreshing all their social media pages at the same time because are they ignoring me? I have to know. Although I haven't showered or brushed my teeth or anything today, I'm just going to lay here and give off really creepy vibes. This is creepy. But it's crazy how much your favorite person fills your mind once you get one. And the amount that they text, the amount that they talk to you, the amount that they see you correlates now with your self-worth. If they're not seeing you, you're not worthy. You're obviously doing something wrong. At least that's how it feels for me. If they're not talking to you, obviously they're mad at me. Duh. Because why wouldn't you talk to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Okay, I sound crazy. Okay, I sound crazy, but I swear, it's a coping mechanism. Okay, it's like we just didn't learn. We didn't learn. Currently, this isn't like as big of a deal in my life right now, but I'm like on the opposite end of the stick to where I don't have a favorite person, and now I feel like I lack connections with people. Like I have friends, I have acquaintances, I talk to people all the time. But I feel like there is a void. I feel like there is a black hole. I feel like I'm not connecting. I feel like I don't know. It's like this itch in my brain is not scratched because I can't emotionally connect that deep with people right now. I can't. And it's not that I can't. It's just that I don't feel emotionally connected. So therefore, now I feel numb. Because I genuinely don't want to put my worth in a person anymore. So I try my hardest not to do so because I do want to unlearn these behaviors. And I do see how harmful these behaviors can be to myself and to other people. But it just leaves me feeling like I'm floating around this earth and looking around and everyone's got a best friend and everyone's got this thing. And I'm just like, why can't I do that? And it just kind of sucks because I've always, technically throughout my entire life, have had a favorite person. Like I remember since like the 5th grade, I hung out with this one girl all the way up till middle school. And I remember having like another friend at the time, but this is kind of, maybe this is where I picked it up. Like I remember I had like these 2 friends in elementary school. And one of my friends got jealous of me being friends with the other girl. So she started bullying her, throwing her hat in the mud and like just being super mean to this girl. And my parents told me that like some people can't have more than one friend at a time. And honestly, I think they spoke that into existence for me. Anyway, that's besides the point. So I remember just being friends with that one girl for a very, very long time because the other girl ended up moving schools when we were really, really young. I was still her friend though. Okay. I didn't condone the bullying. And then like in middle school, I had this one best friend. She really wasn't like the greatest influence on me, but I literally clung to her until my parents ended up not liking her for various reasons. Her mom started bullying me. And then after that friend, I had like this small friend group in high school. And like I did everything for their validation and to make sure I could stay a part of the friend group. And I was mainly friends with one person in the group at the time. Like we would just always connect the most. Like I would connect with the whole friend group, but I would always be connected to like just the one person. And honestly, only me and one of these friends made it out of the friend group to this day. I was 14. Now I'm like 24. Crazy. We've been friends for 10 years. Anyway, but yeah. And then after that, I had like this one best friend throughout like the rest of high school. And like during these times, during these friendships, I didn't have time for any of my other friendships because my validation was in this one person. So why would I have other friends? So I had this one friend throughout the rest of high school. And then at the end of high school, I got this other friend. We ended up moving to college together. because I was scared to go to college alone. If my friend was going across the state, might as well go with her, because I didn't want to be alone, and that was my favorite person. So then I went to the same school that she did. But I think she was okay with it. Like, I really do. Like, we still talk to this day every now and then. Like, we'll check on each other. We were childhood friends, so we just got really close in high school and went to college. But there was a big reason I chose to go to the college that I went to. And then once we started, I didn't think we grew apart, but I think that she thinks we grew apart because we just randomly stopped talking, which sent my self-image and everything into a spiral. Who am I? What am I doing? I don't know. I then start dating this guy. He then becomes my favorite person. And then after that, I was like, guys, I'm done. And there'd be times in between there I would like switch to like a boyfriend and everything, but I'd always just have my focus on this one person of whoever it was, and all my validation and self-worth would go into them. If they were no longer my friend, I don't want to be here anymore. Goodbye. It's not funny. It's very real. It's not funny. But I laugh, so I don't cry. A lot of the times when you're dealing with a favorite person, your favorite person is either the most perfect person in the world or they are the worst person alive. Like, their mistakes are the end of the world, and their compliments to you is like euphoric. It's like godlike. It's like all Hail Mary. Like, it's like everything to you when your favorite person is on that pedestal. But when they knock themselves off the pedestal, because everybody will at one point, because we all make mistakes, they are now the worst person alive, even though it was a mistake. This can be a lot. And it feels like, for me personally, like what goes on in my brain, it's like emotional whiplash. I don't understand how I loved you 5 seconds ago and now I hate you. I don't get it. And I don't understand when my brain literally does that. Like, I'm not making it up. I'm not just sitting here trying to give someone emotional whiplash or anything. I'm really not. Like, what's going on in my brain is I have emotional whiplash and it's pulling me left and right. And like, I have one voice telling me like, oh my God, they're perfect. I love them. They're perfect. And then I have this other thing in the back of my head saying, well, they made this mistake. Does it mean this? Does it mean that? Does it mean this? It obviously does. This is what it means. At least that's what it meant in the past. And it's just like a lot. So I'm going back and forth. And then I display that in my real life. And it's just a lot. It is a lot. Because when they're on this pedestal, when they're on the high horse and you love them, like everything is light and love and you can't even see the bad anymore. But when it goes to the bad, all you can see is the bad and you can't see the good anymore. And it really sucks. And I wish, if I'm sitting there thinking in bad, I'm like, well, I can still rationalize of like all the nice things they did to me. No, I can't. And I don't know why. Like, I literally don't know why. And it is not my intent. I'm not trying to be manipulative. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. And what inspired me to talk about this today? Well, for one, I talk about BPD all the time, and favorite person is a very big part of BPD. But another thing is, I was doing my little doom scrolling as I always do every single day. I never said I was perfect. I was doing my doom scrolling this morning, and this video came up of, what was it? Let me look it up really quick. Let me look at it because I watched it. So it's my recently watched. And I went through a whole playlist. Like, it just enraged me. I was enraged. Ew, what was that noise that just came out of me? Okay. What it means to be the borderline's favorite person. And then it says the dark side of favorite person. And honestly, that content should exist because Nuance is everything. And honestly, I don't mind what she had to say in it. It really wasn't that bad. Until we got to the middle of the video and the stigmatizing stuff that came out of her mouth. Oh my God. Like, she explained what favorite person was. She explained from a research standpoint of what it feels like from a borderline, but then she goes into basically demonizing the borderline. So then I was like, okay, like, maybe like maybe she's just showing the dark sides. Like, you know how sometimes I do. Like, sometimes I'm like, you know what? We cannot be great sometimes, just like any other human. So like, content should exist. But then I go through her page and she's like some doctor or therapist or something, and her whole BPD playlist is about why people with BPD are terrible people. I don't think I'm a bad person, but who am I to say? Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. Have you ever been doing the self-care stuff like journal, meditating, working out, or whatever it may be, and you still feel stuck in a rut? It can be exhausting doing all the practices that everyone said would make you feel better, yet everything just feels like a distraction to something deeper. Over time, I realized you cannot self-care your way out of something that needs unpacked in therapy. I know, that's the last thing people want to hear when they're reaching out for help. Just go to therapy. I get it. But the truth is, when you have someone to talk these things through with, you can get practical tools that fit your specific needs when these heavy feelings come up. You could journal, meditate, distract yourself, but sometimes you really need another perspective to understand why you feel the way that you do. And that's where BetterHelp comes in for me. BetterHelp has made the steps to therapy so much easier. It's completely online and you get matched with a licensed therapist based on your needs. You can do sessions over the phone, video, or even chats, whatever's most comfortable for you. BetterHelp accepts HSA and FSA cards, making it much easier to prioritize your mental health. In 2024 alone, over 137,000 people have used their HSA or FSA benefits to help them get therapy through BetterHelp. So make sure that you use yours before yours expires. If you're thinking about starting therapy and don't know where to start, BetterHelp is a great first step. Use my code betterhelp.com/TierraLorraine for 10% off your first month. Again, that's betterhelp.com/TierraLorraine. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. And now, back to the episode. Because again, she did an amazing job at explaining, but her stigma is where she lost me. Like, one of the titles in this playlist was, what was it? I wrote it down. Loving someone with BPD and why you suffered. Whoa. Whoa. Hello, and I can understand. I'm sure people have been on the not so good side of me, and I sincerely apologize. I was very unmanaged at one point. Not that it is an excuse. Honestly, hold me accountable. I did wrong. I'm never against accountability. But just everything was just so stigmatizing on her page, and I was like, I don't know what borderline hurt you, but we are all not the same. Like, we have the same symptoms. We have this. We meet a certain criteria. But the way I react to certain things are not going to be the same way that they react. Like, if I'm feeling inappropriate anger, which is a criteria of BPD, that doesn't mean that I'm going to punch stuff. I might scream. But that might mean that someone else might punch stuff and they don't scream. Someone else can internalize that intense anger. We don't display it all the same. We don't. She even made a video saying, like, 5 reasons favorite person relationships don't work. A lot of the time they don't. I'm going to give it to her. But at the same time, I don't agree. I don't. And it's just my opinion. I don't agree. I really don't agree. Because I think there's so many people in this world that deal with favorite person that have BPD or don't have BPD and don't know that they're dealing with it. And I'm sure they end up married and with their person. The only thing where I do agree with her is maybe the codependency, because that's not good for you. But at the same time, if you have 2 codependent people and if they do it right, wouldn't that be like fine? It's just usually like a personality clash. Not saying that codependency is okay and that you should continue being codependent if that's who you are. If it's not working for you, maybe we should find a new way. But I don't agree. I just don't agree. I don't know why. I just don't agree. Okay? I don't agree. Because I really genuinely think after going through all her playlists and like reading like the way she titled her titles and like her thumbnails, and I did watch them to see if they were clickbaity. They're slightly clickbaity, but at the same time, she made assumptions about borderline's intentions. And I don't like that. Like, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I hate when people speak on BPD like they know what they're talking about when they clearly don't deal with it. Like, how about you deal with something that overwhelms your brain every single day, all of the time? Where you can't think logically at times, where you can't do certain things. And yes, is this scary? And yeah, it is scary. But I don't think that you should be able to speak on those topics if you don't know what the heck you're talking about. And if you've only dealt with like one borderline, and for you to speak and be like, well, this is the borderlines that I dealt with, so they have to all be like that. Shut the up and get help too. I know I need help. I'm getting the help. I've gotten the help. But like at the same time, no. Have understanding that all people aren't the same, whether they have BPD or don't have BPD. That's like me looking at 2 people in this world that are completely mentally normal and me being like, well, a mentally normal person did that to me this one time. So like maybe all normal people do that and I hate all of them now. Hello? Like there was even one part of the video where she was like, oh, borderline's mirror just to gain your trust. No, I mirror because I don't know who I am. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I literally don't do it to gain their trust. I do it to make myself feel safe. I feel like I don't know exactly who I am, and it's hard to stand 10 toes on something if I don't know what it is. So I know that I can be safe in this room without being ridiculed, being made fun of, without getting hurt, being taken away or kicked out of the room, just whatever, to mirror them, to make them comfortable. It's not about gaining your trust. It's to make you comfortable. Because my whole life, I spent making other people comfortable. I was not allowed to have a say in a lot of things and to speak the things that I speak about now. So now I mirror you because I learned that whatever was going on in my brain and everything that was coming out of my mouth wasn't okay. So now I just mirror you. It has nothing to do with trust. Oh my God. Like, it just made me so angry and so mad. And it really, this type of content needs to exist. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but like, am I the only one that's angry? Am I the only one that feels more lonely by this content? Like, if you don't have BPD, don't talk about it. Like, I mean, maybe, because I do think we should have two sides, but like, don't act like a know-it-all and don't act like you know what symptoms I'm dealing with. You don't. And don't talk about them in the way of like, well, this is where it comes from. This is where it comes from in their brain. No, you actually do not know. You don't know. You have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea what I've been through to develop a personality disorder. So don't sit there and talk about it. I don't even care if you have a degree. You can read all the papers you want, but you will never know what it feels like to be me. Ever. Clock it. I'm sorry. I had to go on that rant because I don't even think this is just like something I've came across recently. This is something I've been coming across on TikTok a lot and Instagram a lot and Facebook and all the social media platforms. Is like people speaking about things that they don't know about. Like, you can look up all you want, but if you never went through it, you don't actually know. That's like speaking about having an addiction and you've never been addicted to anything. How would you know? I hate people like that. I cannot stand people like that. And I hate people that are also like, well, it would never be me. You really don't know how unpredictable life can be. And I don't wish any harm on anyone. I don't wish disorder on anybody, but you just don't know. Have some respect and some like humanity because you don't know. You really don't. Anyway, that's my rant. That is what inspired me talking about favorite person today, because that one lady, she might be smart enough with a degree, but she doesn't know how it feels to be a borderline. You are not a borderline. So don't tell me what I'm thinking. You don't know what I'm thinking unless I tell you. Thank you. If you're going to speak about it on an educational standpoint to maybe just spread awareness, if you're a mental health content creator, don't specialize in certain things. Okay, yeah. Throw it up there. Paste it up there. Don't be like, this is how they think. Shut up. No. That's what you think that they think. That's not what they think. That's what you think, and that's your assumption. Don't be a closed-minded. Favorite person was never intentional or for me to be like, oh, I don't have worth, so let me suck your worth out of your body or something. Like, no, it was just genuinely because I grew up where if I voiced my opinion or wore the clothes that I wanted, I may have gotten made fun of or bullied. So I learned to keep myself safe by doing what others wanted me to do. If I displayed any uncomfortable emotions and it made somebody else uncomfortable, it made me uncomfortable. So I don't want to do that. And also, like, I don't know. I didn't grow up with like a lot of privacy. Like, I didn't have a door for a lot of my childhood because I was a little bit crazy. I was getting in trouble. But sometimes it was really just because stripped of privacy. And even when I was really little and my mom didn't want me doing anything bad, like this was like the ages of 8 and under, she used to tell me there were cameras in my room, so I would behave. I would just do everything to appease them, and I would find my worth in that. Anytime I made a mistake or messed up, for some reason it's the end of the world and I no longer have worth to my parents, to really anybody. Like I don't know why I've developed this over time, but maybe it was because of those things instilled in me when I was younger. I don't really know. I know a lot of people say that they're walking on eggshells for a borderline, but I genuinely felt like growing up, I was walking on eggshells for everyone else. And I guess because I did that for so long, I have so much pent up in me and all these symptoms and behaviors that I'm now displaying because I just never learned how to manage these things or to actually have my sense of privacy or have my own opinion or have my own voice. And yeah, like I just did whatever anyone ever told me to do. And as a kid, a lot of the times that's what it is. But I don't know. I just feel like I just didn't develop properly. And maybe that's why I developed this. I don't know. That's just my own little rant. And I don't even know if that made sense or if that's staying in here. But we will see. And obviously when you get like made fun of and being told what you say isn't okay or what you think isn't okay or your emotions aren't okay. You're human. We are wired to adapt. Eventually you adapt. Whether your brain is going to connect the wires the right way or the wrong way, it's going to adapt to the situation at hand. So if I realize my opinions and everything were uncomfortable, then whatever you like now, I now like, because if that's what makes you comfy, I don't want to make you uncomfy and make the situation uncomfortable. Let's make it comfortable. So then eventually you just become that person because you're just like, okay, if I do this, this, and this, I get their validation and their approval. I can keep myself safe. I don't have to like get yelled at or made fun of or be hurt. But what this does to a borderline is then makes them feel confused and unsafe in themselves and leaves you feeling like you don't know who you are because you are adapting to the people around you and not you. Like you're adapting to them, not you. You're not fixing the situation, you're fixing that situation. I don't know how to really explain this. Like I just really feel like this is a big reason that favorite person is favorite person, and the reason that it like comes about, I don't know. I truly believe that favorite person is not manipulation. It's survival. Our brains did this to protect ourselves and to protect us in every room that we've been in. We are so emotionally tired from being ridiculed or beaten down or being emotionally beat down, mentally beat down. We are just so exhausted because BPD doesn't just form out of thin air. It's usually trauma or maybe genetic or like learned behavior. Either way, it doesn't just appear out of thin air. I learned how to keep myself safe, and what my brain did was give me a personality disorder to do so. And then every now and then when I'm triggered and upset, I do have bigger emotions. But for the most part, it makes me so mad when people are like, people with BPD, or it's such an angry disorder. No, I think it's a safety disorder because I don't think I would have made it this far if this didn't develop. I'm going to be honest with you. Do I want this disorder? No, but your brain develops it to keep you safe. You develop a personality disorder, like a whole nother personality, to keep the other personality safe, like your actual real personality. At least that's my belief. That is just my opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a girl with BPD. So I may have a biased opinion, but I don't know. But again, this content needs to exist for the other borderlines or the people that are dealing with the borderlines, because you can't talk about BPD if you don't go through it. Shut the up. I hate you. I'm sorry. I hate you. Anyway, yeah, that's what favorite person is. That's my little spiel. Those are my opinions. Again, not a doctor. If I don't have favorite person anymore, am I going to feel like I like somebody? Wait a damn minute. Are my emotional connections going to feel as deep if I no longer have the favorite person symptom? I just sent myself into a spiral. This is where this podcast ends. We're done today. We're done. Anyway, yeah, that's my rant. That's my current struggle about favorite person and what made me angry about the content that exists about favorite person. And yeah, just my take on favorite person, because this content needs to exist, like I always say, because younger me would have loved this, but it didn't exist. So I'm doing it for her. We love her. We used to not. I used to hate myself a lot, but we're trying to be kinder and show self-love. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and listening. You guys really are my best friends in the whole world. You guys are the ones that get it. As much as I come on here and give you the mental health mumbo jumbo and like the information, some scientific, some just opinion based, you guys help me so freaking much. You have no freaking clue. I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at today if you guys weren't here for the last few years. Podcasting wise, a year almost. I think it's only, I don't know, something like that. We're getting closer to a year. I don't know. You guys just help me so much and make me feel like I'm not crazy and that I am a normal human being, because we are normal human beings. We just deal with stuff like every other human does. We just got to figure it out. So hopefully I'm helping you figure it out and you guys help me do the same. So thank you. I love you guys so freaking much. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to give this podcast a big thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're not missing a video every single Friday. And leave me a nice little comment. Maybe a comment about the stigma you want me to talk about, to fight against, or just talk about and my anger towards it. I don't know. Leave me a comment about what was helpful, what wasn't helpful. If I'm wrong, push back on me if I'm wrong. Please do. I'm open-minded. And it'll help my content too, because like if I'm wrong, I got to fix it. Okay. And I'm open minded. I'm not going to be like, you're wrong. You spoke against me. No, I'm open. I'm open minded. Now, if you're a troll, though, I love a good trolling sesh. I just have like my social media. So like I'm not trying to get canceled. Even am I cancelable? I do a lot of questionable things on the internet. Anyways, I don't want to get canceled. So if you troll, I'm trolling back because I feel like that's fair game. I can't just be trolling now. But if you troll, I love a good trolling match. I really do. Anyway, if you do have some pushback though, that is actual pushback and not trolling, let me know. And if you're watching on podcast, make sure to give me a 5-star review and leave me a little comment down below. It helps me build this community, helps other people find me that are like myself, or maybe just wondering things about people like myself. I don't know. But it's so freaking helpful, and I enjoy reading them so much. I check them so often. So, yeah, they all get read. So it'd be so nice if you left me something I could read. And I will be making another What is Tia's Take soon. So to make sure to check out the descriptions down below for that little form so you can leave me a story, leave me a question, whatever it may be, because I know you guys are liking that segment a lot. She's going to be here to stay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for understanding me. And yeah, until next Friday, I love you guys.